All right, guys, today is February 8th, 2026, coming at you, also known as Super Bowl Sunday 2026 for the NFL season. Who you got? I'm One Eye Bry, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about today, February 8th, 2026, Super Bowl Sunday. It's a good day for entertainment. Some people don't care about the game. I don't care about the Seahawks winning, the Patriots winning, as much as I just want to have entertainment. I want to watch the game, watch the commercials, check out the halftime show, maybe the Puppy Bowl, whatever you got on there too. So, what other shows, movies are you watching now? I was telling you a couple of live streams ago that I watched Running Man, or The Running Man, the remake. And I finished it this weekend, and it was okay. It was better than I thought. And I wasn't the biggest fan of the first movie, so it's okay. When you remake something that's good, it's tough. But The Running Man, I don't know. I don't know if the original one with Arnold is that great. So we'll wait for some people to join for the stream for the next hour. And we're watching The Pit on HBO, which is the best medical show that I've seen since House. So do you agree, disagree? Haven't watched anything of Game of Thrones, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, because I'm going to wait for all 6 episodes to come out and then I'll watch it, because I heard the first 2 episodes are pretty slow, the third one's good, the fourth one's good, and the fourth one's out now because it's not coming out today. It's a Sunday show, so it's not going to come out against the Super Bowl, right? Anything against the Super Bowl is probably not going to fare well with ratings. You're not going to watch it very much. So at 6:30 on, check it on there too. So all right, guys, let me know your thoughts. Post your comments in the chat, and if you're watching on the live stream after that. So, I'm excited for the future of the shows, the movies this year and beyond. And I think there's a lot of good stuff coming out. I can't believe the stuff I haven't even remembered. But, this year for Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, or Mortal Kombat 2, I should say. Mortal Kombat 2, Street Fighter, He-Man, Masters of the Universe, Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man, A Brand New Day, the other shows on Disney Plus, and also Predator Badlands comes out next Thursday. This Thursday now because it's Sunday. Some people think Sunday starts the new week or Monday starts the new week. I don't know. This upcoming Thursday is Predator Badlands on there too. So what are you guys recommending? What are you watching now? There's it feels like a lot of lapse right now between shows until they come or start in March. And on February 25th, so the last Wednesday of the month, Survivor season 50, I believe, comes out on CBS. And I used to be a big Survivor fan. I used to like the show, especially when I didn't have cable. And I could only pick up local channels, and CBS was one of those shows. I could pick up CBS and NBC and parts of ABC through an antenna, so I watched a lot of those shows. That's when I watched, The Office, America's Got Talent was a summer show, and Survivor was a big deal. And then I could watch some of the basketball and March Madness and all that stuff. But I was trying to cut costs, and nowadays the streaming services, there's so much money across the board. And our internet's $100, so I don't know if it's that much cheaper or not. But I don't know. But let me know your thoughts. What are you guys watching? Do you have cable? Do you watch streaming services on there? And pretty soon it's going to be pretty crazy how much everything costs. Hopefully we can get some bundles and some, things to connect the dots. I know that there was I don't know, the commercial came on. I was working out at the gym, and I guess the new Backstreet Boys T-Mobile commercial for the Super Bowl was on there. And I was like, man, that was an early release, I guess. And that's kind of like a bundle where you get Netflix included. And that makes sense because you could have your phone, which no one really has a home phone. I guess some people do, but very few people have a home phone. You got your cell phone. And if you get a streaming service as big as, Netflix, that's pretty awesome. So if it's AT&T or T-Mobile or Verizon or whatever, if you can get on the bundle game, I think that's where it could be too. So that's where it could be. I don't understand the question. How could you live without satellite? Um, well, I had like internet. I didn't have cable television. I had internet, and then I had a like an antenna that picks stuff up. So, Synth Love DNA, greetings from Spain. Very cool. Greetings from Florida. So, I hopefully it's getting warmer where you guys are at. I know I'm in Florida and still kind of cold in the house. You know, during the day, like right now, it's 106, and it's been a little chilly in the mornings. And then going to the gym, it's a little cold. And then coming out of the gym, it's warm after the workout. But it's definitely something that you got to stay warm where you need to. And then it's like, I call it like the bipolar weather. Like in the morning, it's cold. And then in the afternoon, it's hot. In the house, it's cold. I go outside, it's hot. And it's definitely, my house keeps everything cold from the terrazzo base floors that's there. So I could keep it nice and cool in the house, and it's nice in the summer, but not now. You know, it's kind of cold and stays cold on there as well. So, but I put more and more stuff on eBay and put more stuff online, clearing out the house. Like this year has definitely been about cleaning out the house again. Last year I started it, and it was really good with clearing out my man cave, and it was pretty cool to make progress with it. And then I'm like going through stuff, and I was like, I don't really, there's stuff sitting in a box, and I'm like, I really don't need this stuff, you know. And there's some cool stuff like some Back to the Future stuff that I have, and a Transformers messenger bag, and some t-shirts and some stuff, and I'm like, you know, I really should put this online. And then I found some other Walking Dead stuff that was like, you know, this stuff I had because I was making mystery boxes, and I'd put them in there, and I thought it was pretty cool to have as many different things as you could get, and I had a couple things left over, and I still have like the minifigures, like the ones behind me, like up on the wall behind me, and I have a bunch of those that I'm like, should I bundle them together, put them in as a lot, but then I got to worry about taking care of them, and now that I have time, I can do that, you know. So definitely check out eBay if you're interested in anything like there too. You might have some stuff that you may be liking too. So Tim says, watched an older movie I haven't seen before. Cop Shop had Tyrese and Martinez from The Walking Dead and Frank Grillo from Tulsa King. Yeah, so that's also, that stars, what's my guy from, I'm blanking on his name. But Cop Shop is okay. I watched it a while ago, and it's pretty good. It's all right, and it's definitely something that definitely recommend to watch some shows. I think that's on Netflix now. I'm sure a lot of people just wait for stuff to come on Netflix or wait for different streaming services. Like I just waited to see Predator Badlands until it comes out this week on Disney Plus and Hulu. And you know, I don't know if the next movie, I'll have to see. I know I wouldn't mind going to the movie theater to probably watch. At latest would be Avengers Doomsday, because I feel like that would be kind of cool, and I have a little bit of money left over from Gerard Butler. That's his name. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. I couldn't remember his name, but it's a decent movie. It's always cool when you see actors that come from The Walking Dead, like Tyrese, Martinez. So RIP, or The RIP, has Martinez in it. It has Stephen Yeun in it. And neither of them on the Walking Dead universe anymore. But it's kind of cool to see them there playing different parts and different stuff, because I definitely like seeing characters and actors that I have seen in different things, because I definitely see a connection with these guys. And if you ever get a chance to meet some of the actors, like when Walker Stalker was a huge convention, I loved meeting as much of the Walking Dead cast as I could. And it was just always cool to see them in future parts. And even if you haven't met them and you like them from, like Norman Reedus is a great example. Norman Reedus is Daryl Dixon, and he had a career before The Walking Dead, and he has a career after The Walking Dead. But The Walking Dead probably made him a superstar. Yeah, he was in Blade, and yeah, he was in, different movies and stuff here and there, but nothing as big as The Walking Dead. I mean, he's probably made the most money there possible. But if Norman Reedus is in something, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And it's kind of cool to see different things on there as well from different how they go and kind of just follow them. Kind of feels like there are, yeah, he's in Lady Gaga's Judas video, exactly. And it's cool to see different characters and from your favorite shows branch out a little bit too. And I don't know about you, but there's certain actors that I like and there's certain actors that I didn't like. And I told you at the beginning of the stream, some of you might have missed it, that I finally finished The Running Man. And The Running Man was okay. It's not the best movie by any means, but I'd say it was pretty good. And I don't really like Glenn Powell. And maybe it's because of the characters that he's played, like in Top Gun Maverick. Not the best character, but he's probably not supposed to be the best character. And just certain other parts that I haven't seen him in that I hadn't watched, but I was like, whatever. But I watched The Running Man, and it's okay. It definitely takes a turn and a twist to wrap it up at the end. And it's got Strand in it, so it's always good to, represent and look after for the Walking Dead family on there too. So Tim says from April 19th, I hear. So I hope so. Like April's fine, middle of April's fine. So if that's April 19th would make sense because, it's fine. Hopefully we get a trailer. So I'm excited for the trailer for anything. But I want to see where it's going to go and probably mislead us a little bit. But hopefully they're going to wrap it up a little bit. So if they have this season and one more, that's definitely I'm excited to see how From wraps up because it's definitely a different kind of show. But what was I going to say too? There was another thing. It was Dark Winds is coming out with another season. And is this season 4, season 5? Are they filming season 5? I'm like, man, I didn't even know that show was still on because I did not watch last season. I started to watch the first episode and it got really weird with the dream sequence and it's just kind of like I don't know. It's just something I was like, yeah, I think I'm done with that show. But maybe I'll come back and check out Dark Winds. I know that was coming back soon. I don't know when exactly, but I'm excited to see the different stuff, and it's always good to have an escape. Like The Walking Dead was always the biggest escape show from reality because it's so good to have an escape from work and chaos and drama and whatever, and I think that's why we need those things. And I'm a big proponent of that too. The stressors from waking up to go to their work, to deal with whatever, your boss, your coworker, your neighbor, your friend, your cousin, your aunt, your mom, your spouse, whoever it is, you got to have an outlet and a breakout. So whatever it is, whether it's shows or movies or video games or YouTube or working out or running or exercise or whatever, it's extremely important. And I'm starting to write more and more. I'm on chapter 3 of Fight for Us 2, and I'm excited to see where it's going. I'd have to devote a little more time. But I've been doing stuff around the house. It warmed up a little bit last week, so I was doing stuff there. And then once you start doing things, I always think of it as like opening up a can of worms, where I wanted to extend the gutter and put a 3x4 gutter downspout gutter instead of the 2x3, and then I did that, and I had to get a piece here, and then I had to do that, and then I want to move where the gutter is going, and so it was just so you started that thing, and you're here, and then it's next thing you know, it's cold and rainy to go inside, and I had to tighten up the gutters and doing all these things, it never ends. But then you get back to it, and it's nice to have something to look forward to, whatever shows and movies that you have. And, I personally love watching an episode a day. So, we're still on the first season of The Pit, and I don't know how many episodes it is, but I think we're on episode 13 of The Pit. And if you have HBO Max and you like medical shows, I highly recommend it. It's one of the craziest realistic, if I know it's a show, but realistic medical shows that I've seen. And so much stuff happens every episode that it draws you in to see. And, I haven't been so connected and emotionally attached to a show in a long time. Because when stuff happens, man, it's sad. Or it's funny. Or it's like stuff works out. And you're like, man, I feel like total empathy with the show because being in the medical field, it's kind of interesting on there too. So, happy Super Bowl Sunday to you as well. So, like Isaiah says, it's Super Bowl. Whether you care about it or not, it's everywhere, and it's a huge day for entertainment. Whether you like the show, if you like the game, like the teams, like the whatever. I had a lady when I was working on Thursday that I asked her, are you going to watch the Super Bowl? And I could already tell she was the person that doesn't like the Super Bowl or doesn't like football or doesn't like sports really. And she's like, nope, doesn't interest me. I'm like, oh, okay, it's cool. To each their own. But she slid in, I'm going to watch the halftime because I want to see what happens. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's got you, right? Like the Super Bowl has you, whether you want to watch the game or not, whether you're going to watch the commercials or not. You don't want to miss out on something, right? You want to see if Bad Bunny does something in a political way or something. And I'm like, whatever, to each their own. But, it's turned into that whole realm of this and that, whatever side and whatever you like. And so, I mean, I think that we should keep it to sports, keep it to entertainment, to keep it that way too. But, people love the little snide mark here and there and a snide thing with this. And if someone wins an award, they talk about all these things. And you're like, yeah, it's their outlet and they're allowed to do it for a certain thing. But, it's just something where people, I don't know, move it on. It's not going to bother me one way or another. So, and I think it's a good time to have people over. I mean, it's just going to be my wife, myself, and Otis for our Super Bowl Sunday. And we'll have a nice day of entertainment. And I enjoy the day. Hopefully, I can win some money in my DraftKings and FanDuel lineups. I know my dad does a block pool, so he's got some decent numbers. So I'll see if it works out. Does anybody in here do a block pool? Do you care about that at all? Because once you got money on the table, money on the line, that changes everything. That changes how you play the game, how you're interested in the game or not. If you're caring about the different outcomes. When you're betting on something, it's a whole different thing. So, but I'm just trying to figure out, day-to-day stuff, week-to-week stuff, and just like make it just like everybody else, Isaiah asks, Bri, do you really think that Maggie and Negan are going to die in Dead City? I do not. I think that if they are, it's going to be the final thing of the series, of the show. Well, because Dead City may very well be the last Walking Dead show there is. There's a lot of stuff, potential, possible, rumors, speculation, nonsense, clickbait, trickbait, all this stuff, I'm sure, that I had to unfollow or snooze the thing on Facebook because every week they say, oh, it's a big day for Walking Dead fans. It's a big day. And there's no news. There's no information going around that people can talk about with The Walking Dead with consistent, real information. It's all speculation. It's all hearsay. And I mean, the latest thing about the person showing up in Dead City is nice. That was kind of cool. That was unexpected. But will Maggie die? Will Negan die? Only time will tell. But I highly doubt it. If they're going to continue on with the show, Maggie and Negan are the staples, right? So I don't think it's been announced that season 3 is the final season. I think it was more announced that season 4 has actually been greenlit. So The Walking Dead is still a draw for AMC. It's still something that draws people in. And after Daryl Dixon, we'll have to see how that wraps up. I know that the big thing is what's going to happen with that. are Daryl and Carol going to make it back to the States? Are they going to stay there? Is Rick going to show up and is he going to rescue them? Are they going to save the day? Is there going to be a season 12 of The Walking Dead where everybody comes together? I don't know, because The Walking Dead, there really wasn't a conflict after the Commonwealth. The Whisperers went away. The Commonwealth, finished. The Walkers were really this. They kind of took over the Commonwealth, Mercer and the people, and Carol's job. And I don't know what's happened since Carol's been away because she's not there. And Daryl, I don't know really what his job was. And, was Ezekiel running things? And what was, things were happening. And then in Dead City, they have these New Babylon marshals that are bad people and bad guys that were doing that. And so there was a villain aspect. Will that show come to another area? I don't know. I mean, this is uncharted territory because the comic is done. The source material is done. All this extra stuff kind of worked, except for Fear the Walking Dead. Tales of the Walking Dead was okay. World Beyond was not really that great. Daryl Dixon was entertaining. Dead City was okay. The Ones Who Live was okay. And stuff was just okay. Do they care about making a great product anymore? I don't know. Do they care about putting out the Walking Dead franchise? I would assume so. I would think they want to keep that going and growing for as long as possible. Because I think that they want to just make money. After a while, it's all about how much money can you make with these shows? Is there an audience for it? How much can you make these shows for? And I mean, I don't know what the next resolution would be. I don't know if these New Babylon Marshals... There has to be another bad villain that draws people together. And arguably the biggest villain in the Walking Dead franchise is Negan. And he is now on Maggie's side and is on the good guy side. So he's not really a hero. He's an anti-hero, but he's a hero. Is he a bad guy? Is he this? Is he that? I don't know. I just don't see where it's going to wrap up. I just don't think it's going to be a rewarding ending anyway. Like, the Walking Dead ending was okay. The Ones Who Live one was okay. The Fear of the Walking Dead was dumb. World Beyond was dumb. Tales of the Walking Dead wasn't really an ending. And Daryl Dixon, we'll see what happens. And Dead City, we'll have to see what happens too. So I don't know. I mean, I would have loved for more connections with Daryl's thing with the French CDC, and I would have loved for the Daryl show to connect the dots a little bit more. So, I don't know. So Tim says, so a bunch of my workers wrote "Go Pats" all over the pallet. So yeah, I mean, if you're in New England, you're loving that the Patriots are back in. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is actually a really big Seahawks fan, so if you follow him, he's probably going to be sporting a Seahawks jersey. I don't know if he's filming something or not. Will he be at the Super Bowl? I don't know. I don't even know if I'd really want to go to a Super Bowl, to be honest. I mean, if I got free tickets and I got things out there too, it'd be pretty awesome. But I'm sure parking is like extremely expensive. I'm sure the tickets are extremely expensive. Traveling, because it's in California. I mean, I probably wouldn't go to a Super Bowl outside of Florida or Georgia if I was living close by, then possibly. But it's just one of those things where I think majority of sports is better on TV. Better angles, good commentary. Just, you can't miss it. And you can sit at home, eat your own food. You don't have to deal with the general public. And, the environment is not always the best. So, but I always like the idea of, potentially going to a big sporting event, but I don't need to. I think the only thing I'd really want to go to, personally myself, is the Masters golf tournament on like a practice round day. So I'd get to see the golf course, walk around, because it's something I watch on TV every year. And to actually be there, it's always really cool to see what it would be like. And it's definitely something that I feel like I would love to potentially see it, but it's okay if I'm not. I got some stuff to do on there as well, and hopefully we can do that too. So, Simplove DNA says, I picture this. Negan and Maggie can get together in a crazy way. Maybe they connect through darkness, but probably will give his life to save the Maggie and Herschel, or maybe Herschel will kill Negan. So that's always been the what you've said, Simplove DNA, is all those things people have said for a long time, that Herschel is going to kill Negan. That Maggie and Negan could get together. That Negan would die doing something heroic or something on there too. And once you kill a character off, unless it's Fear the Walking Dead and you never see a body and never say never and no one's gone till they're gone and all that nonsense, that blah, 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 Madison crap. Once you kill a character off, they're generally not coming back unless it's in a cameo, dream sequence, fever dream, some sort of thing that way. But I don't think anybody wants to see Maggie and Negan get together. Yeah, I think we can all agree that, unless you're a Negan fan. But I don't think Maggie should ever get with Negan and be with Negan. That would just be a slap in the face to Glenn and Glenn fans. As for Herschel killing Negan, will that happen? It could, because look at what's happened in the past. From the comic, it's happened time and time again. Fear the Walking Dead, it's happened. The Walking Dead, it's happened. Where a child, and Robert Kirkman's writing, to be honest, is not the best. But he loves to throw in, and whoever writes this crap for Fear the Walking Dead or whatever on there too, loves to have the possibility of a child killing an adult in this world. And it's a possibility for sure. I mean, there's no laws, there's no this, except for people trying to do things here and there too. It's, street justice and everything on there as well. But I don't want to see that. I mean, Herschel kills Negan. Does that feel satisfying? Is that good? Because Herschel sucks, to be honest. I think Herschel is one of the most annoying, and most of the kids are annoying. Carl was super annoying when he was younger. He only got better because he died. He only got better because he got on his way out. He only got better because of this. The best young kid character, in my opinion, was Judith. And she was one of many kids. Sam, terrible, right? Like, tell me which kids were actually good on The Walking Dead. I don't think Herschel's on that list. So, yeah, I don't know if Herschel and Ginny were going to get together. But you never know. And again, it is, The Walking Dead is a soap opera with little zombies in there too. So I know, Tim, you asked last time if I saw Roofman, or Roofman, I don't know how you want to say it. We watched it last weekend. We watched it, I think, last Sunday, or maybe it was Monday. I don't remember. But it's on Paramount Plus, and it's a true story about a guy that was robbing McDonald's and got caught and went to jail. And then you got to watch the movie to find out what happens the rest of that too. But it's based on a true story. And it stars Channing Tatum, who does a good job, I have to say. He was pretty entertaining. And I say that a lot about his stuff. He's always entertaining, whether you like him or not. He draws your interest, or at least mine, on there too. So, Roofman was okay. And I want to ask you guys a question. What's the best movie that you've recently seen that's like a new movie? Not like, oh, I watched The Godfather yesterday. Like, yeah, okay, great. Now we know that's a good movie. Or Shawshank Redemption. But what's the best movie that was made in the past, I don't know, 5 years? Because I don't know the answer. I was thinking about it too. I was like, what's the best movie that came out in the most recent time that I was like, wow, that's a really good movie? And I don't know. I was trying to think about it too. I was curious to what you guys say, so I was like, I'll bring it up here too. Like, so again, what's the best movie you've seen recently in the past 5 years? That's a newer movie that was made in the past 5 years. Or 6 years, let's just say 2020 till now. Yeah, Tim, it's okay, but I question some of the true stories. Of course, so I always think about true stories as like some of the information is there. And then they fabricate some things for the movie or the show or the series or whatever it is. The documentary or whatever. And I wonder how much of it has to be true for them to say it's a true story or based on a true story. Or whatever the legal jargon stuff is on there too. Because it's different. But yeah, I mean, what's the hunting party? And I was talking with my wife about it on there too, and I personally think that the best entertainment now between movies and TV shows is going towards TV shows. I think the best writing for shows and movies as of lately is in television. And television is, you have more character development and story development. Shows, you can do it over a couple seasons. Movies, you have an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at the most. And it's just like, huh. So I don't know if I talked about it last because I forgot when I watched it. It was Monday or on there there too. But we watched that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle at a Time. So we watched that. I think it was on Monday, and that movie was pretty disappointing. And I like Leonardo DiCaprio, and I like. I think he's a good actor, but I don't like. It's like Johnny Depp. Like I don't like. I don't think he picks the best movies all the time, and it could be one of those things where like the movie is not that great. So, One Battle at a Time. Has anyone seen it? It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes, and the movie just goes all over the place with stuff, and there's no like rewarding connection with it. And it's all about this crazy premise of the United States and just these people. It's just so crazy. And like Sean Penn and this actress that I don't really know who she is. She did a good job, but it's just over the top. And then it's just I don't know. Like I don't know. It was so disappointing because I thought it was going to be better than it was. And it's a lot of like driving around in a car and a chase and a this and a that, and it's just like, what am I watching? And there's this group, like these Christmas people or something. It's like, what? It just seems so crazy. And I was like, this movie. I thought it was going to be like a No Country for Old Men type of vibe and a thing like that. But it was just so disappointing when I watched it. Did anybody watch that movie, and what did you think of it? Jeannie says Barbie was a good movie, fun and existential at the same time. Yeah, Barbie was okay. That's definitely got to be up there. I thought about that one too, is because I actually never saw Oppenheimer, and I know some people like that. I'm not a big Avatar person. I know some people like that, but I don't know. Like, there's just, and it's crazy because there's so much entertainment, movies, streaming services that now stuff is being made here and there. And I'd say some of the best entertainment that I've watched has actually been TV shows like Yellowstone, like Reacher, like, I mean, all of the Taylor Sheridan universe kind of a thing there, basically. And I don't know, it just feels like that's where the best stuff is going. The Minecraft movie. Yeah, Minecraft movie was okay. Yeah, movies like that, you have to kind of just roll with it, jump in, and just like Jumanji and just stuff like that. You're like, all right, yeah, or Toy Story, the Toy Story movies. And I don't remember when the last one. I know they have a fifth one coming out, and Toy Story 4, 3, and 4 were, pretty good. And I don't really like a lot of the remakes of Disney that did with like The Lion King and stuff. You're like, that wasn't good. Wow, Dragon says from the 50s and 60s. Wow. I don't even know what movies I've seen in the 50s and 60s. They gotta be like black and white, man. 50s and 60s, right? Or no, they gotta be color. What movies are you watching there from the 50s and 60s? And I like the MCU. I like the Marvel Cinematic Universe for character development and stories and everything on there too. And but nowadays you don't have to go to the movies. Like if I was paying for movies, I probably would have been disappointed to pay for some of the movies I've watched because they're like meh. But it's part of your streaming service. You say you pay. I don't even know what it is. $27 or something for Netflix. That's like $1 a day because it's 28 to 31 days a month. If February's coming out 28 days, so just say $1 to whatever, less than $1 a day. And if you watch the show or a documentary or a series on there, that's pretty darn good. You go to the movies, it's going to be $15 a ticket for each person, so $30, a popcorn here, a drink there, this and there too. It's easily over $50-$60. Easily. And that's 2 months of streaming services. Say it's like $30 each, say just easy calculation. $30 for streaming service, that's 2 months of streaming versus one movie. It just doesn't make sense. And I just like the idea of being entertained and whatever on there too. And I'm watching and I'm excited for He-Man and Masters of the Universe and different stuff there too. If they ever come out with a Thundercats movie or something that takes you back there, like, I mean, if and hopefully when they come out with the X-Men, all they got to do is really replicate the 90s cartoon. And that's another one. That's a show that's on Disney Plus. That's X-Men 97 season 2 connects the dots from X-Men 97, and it takes me back because I'm a huge X-Men fan. That I love the idea of that for continuing that. Equalizer 3. I don't know when that came out, but yeah, I think the Equalizer series is pretty good. Even though I like the first two a little better than 3, but the first two are, that's a good trilogy of movies. And there's been good movies, but not like really great, movies. And then when I think of like Denzel Washington, Equalizer is kind of a cool thing, but I think of like Training Day. Like that movie is great. And Remember the Titans. Like that's just great of Denzel. Like there's just other, to me, better parts for him on there too. So, but then he was also in like Gladiator 2. That was kind of a bust. Like Gladiator 1 was great. And like when they just try to remake things or they have a sequel that doesn't make sense. So maybe it's Top Gun Maverick. Is that the best latest movie? Like newest movie? I don't know if I've seen Glory. What's Denzel's? What's Glory? So yesterday, like I told you, when I get my chicken from Sam's Club, I always A Man on Fire. That's another great one. Nothing with Tom Cruise qualifies. No, I think Tom Cruise is the last true movie star. And Brad Pitt's great, and Denzel's great, and Tom Hanks is great. There's a lot of great actors, but I think Tom Cruise is the last. Like when he's done. No, you didn't like Training Day? I thought Training Day was a great story of just going through the story of, I don't know. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. But what was I even gonna say? But Tom Cruise, I think Tom Cruise, like I said, Tom Cruise is the. Yeah, well, that's okay. If you don't like Tom Cruise, you don't like that. You don't have to. But when he finishes up acting, I think, because who are going to be the next big action stars? I'm an '80s kid, born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. I was like all about like action stars, like Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, and then Jet Li even, and Jackie Chan, and like they were like they had their realm of some sort of montage training, this, that, and they're okay movies, even though Predator I think is one of the best action movies there really was. Like the original Predator. And who's the next people that are going to be doing that? Bruce Lee, Dolph Lundgren even, Jet Li, Tony Jaa. Is it going to be like Jason Statham? Like he makes a certain kind of movie that's very entertaining. Like The Beekeeper, and I think his next one coming is like Shelter. Yeah, they're going to be AI action heroes. They're all in the Expendables, exactly. All those people are in the Expendables. Chuck Norris. I think I never saw that movie. But yeah, now I know what I'm talking. I know what we're talking about with that. And I'm sure he does a great job because I think Denzel Washington can pull off like anything. Like I don't remember anything he's been in. Even like what's the one, Two Guns or whatever with him and Mark Wahlberg, and yeah. And I don't know, like I feel like we've lost. Like Catherine O'Hara just died, and she was in a lot of good movies, especially 80s movies, 90s movies. And, we've lost a lot of people that were so iconic in movies, or they've gotten old, or they're too, like, I don't know if there's ever going to be another person like Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, John Candy, Chris Farley. I don't know if that's ever going to be possible. And there's people that I like. Vince Vaughn I like. Ben Stiller I like. Certain people that are hilarious. But even some new people in there too. But I don't know, like after a while you start to get a familiar mindset, and then the next generation comes out and they don't do certain things. Like I'm really glad they're making Spaceballs 2. Because it's definitely something that they're not going to make certain movies anymore like back in the day. There's just not going to be. You couldn't make certain movies today like they did back then. They're just not out there too. So Tommy Leah Hub, I don't know, 2235. Been a while since I've been here. How you doing? Pretty good. How about you? Hanging in there, trying to make it work. So Dragon says AI actors equal no $1 million salaries, no actor accident insurance, no liabilities, no insurance about child actors. So I don't know. I don't know if AI actors are going to be something that's worth watching a whole hour and a half, 2 hour long movie. And then is it going to be AI and real actors together? Or is it just going to be all AI? All AI, digital, everything. Because animation is animation. And we know it's animation. But it's weird when animation comes together like Roger Rabbit, Cool World, stuff that Sonic the Hedgehog, but it's a CGI character, not all CGI. And Sonic's good, and stuff works. But I'm just saying, like stuff like that, you have to suspend belief. But it's going to be interesting. Like, I don't know when the first AI movie or stuff's going to come out, but eventually it's going to come out, I'm guessing, right? Like they're trying to replace human beings in all areas. They can say they aren't. They can say they're this. They can say that they're going to create more jobs and new jobs. And yeah, exactly. So you create a new AI job, but you just lay off 15,000 people. But you have 5 new jobs to run the AI servers and whatever. Or even if it's 100 jobs, whatever. I'm just saying general numbers. Right? But we're trying to have robots deliver food, and robots drive us around, and robots do this, and robots do that, and robots here and there too. And I get it. Are we going to be on some universal basic income then? Because how's that going to work? But that's another tale for another day. But we're going to have people that are going to, certain things are going to be untouchable that human beings have to do that I don't know people aren't going to trust, and maybe they do. Maybe we'll eventually get there, but probably not in our lifetimes. It's just my guess. But like today's the Super Bowl. You're not going to have robots out there running around playing football unless there's some robot football league, which would be crazy. Or boxing. Even though I do like the movie Real Steel with Hugh Jackman. And I think that would be pretty interesting. And my dad loves a show called BattleBots. That's where robots are made by groups or teams, and they either spin or they crush or they flip or they do whatever. And it's some sort of like them fighting each other kind of a thing. But we'll have to see for the entertainment side. There was a video that I watched the other day, and it's totally fake because it's these different cats playing instruments on this lady's porch. And it's like the cat's like playing a fiddle. And it's like, and then the lady opens the door and she's like, stop it, no fiddle this morning, blah, blah. And the next one comes in is like playing a piano or something. And like, it's no piano this time, go to bed, blah, blah, blah. And then she comes in to playing drums and is playing all these different, instruments. And we know it's AI, but it's kind of funny, right? And at some point, we'll just get to the point where AI is doing things like that. But I don't know if we're ever going to see like a full AI movie that is done that makes sense. And I don't know if it's going to be so good enough that you'll be able to tell. I don't know. It probably will be. But I think most people, there's an area that has to be involved with realism. Like people can tell when something's fake or something's bad or something's in there too. Like the stunt double is this or whatever on there too. And we know why it's being done. But when the stuff's being done, like back to Tom Cruise, I don't care that he does all these stunts in Mission Impossible. But that's what it's kind of turned into. Oh, he really held onto the side of the airplane. Or, wow, he really was in that airplane when it was upside down. Or, wow, he really jumped off an aircraft carrier. Wow, he really did this. Like, okay, great. But is the story entertaining? Is it just that he did this stunt? Jackie Chan used to do stunts all the time. And some of the story of those movies weren't great. But he was doing these stunts where he would like flip off a thing and jump through a thing and fall through a ladder and slide down windows. And, it was just crazy. But that's what I watched it for, and it was entertaining for different reasons. So we'll have to see if it gets to that point or not. Dragon says, like Star Wars using Carrie Fisher after she died, AI will get to the point that you cannot tell the difference. And paying 5 or 50 people to code cannot cost more than Tom Cruise $10 million in the film. Well, I'm sure Tom Cruise is making more than that, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, so I just don't know, like, if the story is going to be at some point we're going to have different problems and different things, because how many times has the same story been told? And there's a whole area of rom-coms, and there's a whole area is things that you get to deal with because, the stories can only be written a certain way. Like, we always use the zombie apocalypse situation there too. Like there's only so many outcomes that could happen. Who are you following? The survivors. Do they live? Do they die? Do some of them live? Some of them die? Does the military show up? Do they get to a safe place? What happens on there too? And I've said this before many, many times in a lot of live streams. The Walking Dead was supposed to be the zombie story that never ended. And basically, these shows really have kept that going because it really doesn't seem like it's ending anytime real soon, but they just drag it along and kind of have it going. But I feel like, you're welcome, Isaiah. I know it's a nice little fun gathering for the hour, and I got 10 more minutes before we're done for today for the Super Bowl Sunday. But I do like the idea of some originality of it. Like, yes, there's been sitcoms, but the ones that have been the most popular, Friends, Seinfeld, Modern Family, whatever, MASH, Cheers, this, that, or whatever, they've been there, done that, but kind of told it a little differently. Like Modern Family is the most recent success of a sitcom that was very successful, extremely successful. But it told the story of the modern family, right? Hence Modern Family. That said, this is how it is. The old man marries a younger, beautiful woman. He has 2 children. One of them's this, one of them's that. They have this family, they have that family. There's this. There's all these crazy outcomes with in-laws, with spouses, with father-in-laws, mother-in-laws, this, that, son-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, other son, whatever it is. And it was kind of cool. It was interesting. And it drew you in for all the different aspects because all the different characters. And I've always been the person that loves the different types of characters. Like one of my favorite sitcoms of all times is Seinfeld. And I could watch Seinfeld over and over and over again, and it still works, and it's still great on there too. Not even because of Jerry, or Kramer, or Elaine, or George, but because all of them. But also because of Newman and George's parents and Putty and and Mickey and all these other extra characters, secondary characters, and Uncle Leo and everything on there too. And it's like, and Jerry's parents and whatever, like you get to see all these things, and it builds a world of that connection of these actors and characters for it. And that's what I think we like to see, no matter what it is, whether it's Star Wars or Star Trek or The Walking Dead or whatever, or Game of Thrones. You like to see callbacks, connections, Easter eggs, things come back around again, whatever it is, because it feels like you're a part of that world. And if they can do that, I think it's great. And so I'll have to see how things would go for the future. But as long as it's entertaining, at the end of the day, I guess that's all that matters. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, there's a baseline of story, good versus evil. Does this happen? Does that happen? What's the antagonist doing? Are they trying to take over the world? Are they trying to hurt the, town or the protagonist or what's happening? It's just all these little pieces, and where it unfolds there too. And all I can say is that there's some good stuff out there now. And nothing beats just entertainment, whatever it is, whatever you like. And I saw a fact, I guess, that was online that I thought was so crazy, that it was the video game industry makes more money than movies and television, I want to say, combined. Video games make more money than all of that right now. So movies and television, video games make more than that. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. If that's true, like, I don't even buy video games anymore. I play Fortnite, and that's all I really play right now. And that's a free video game. You don't even have to pay for that. But some people pay for the stuff in there. But streaming stuff, like I'm just like, wow. Especially like Grand Theft Auto series and all that stuff. This series there, over the long run, they're making, billions of dollars. And then also like movies turned into video games or stuff like there too. And so there's a crossover connection there too. And then now video games are going into movies, which they've been doing for a while too now. Like two of the movies that I'm excited for are Street Fighter, which is a video game, and Mortal Kombat 2, which is a video game. And then He-Man, Masters of the Universe, that's not a video game, but that's kind of put together in a TV show that's connected here. That's Probably got some video games here and there as well. So the crossover is all about it too. It's all about a brand. It's all about everything there too. Just like today, the Super Bowl, right? It's a huge day of entertainment, even if you like the game or not, which I think is cool to see what's going to happen before it, because it's a live event. Anything can happen with a sporting event. But if you're watching the game today, be safe. If you're with your friends, family, whatever you're doing. Fallout, another thing, exactly. A TV show because of a video game. And that's Fallout, bunch of video games. They're making a God of War series. Bunch of video games. It's crazy. And that's cool, and that's all right. You're building it up to see how it's going down for it. But today, Super Bowl Sunday, enjoy the day, whether you're at home, going to a friend's house, be safe, be careful with the drinking and driving, take an Uber, just be safe with it. And I always laugh at the guy that was on the radio when I was at Sam's Club. He was like, the day after a sporting event should be a day off. It should be a national holiday. Like, we need more holidays? I mean, we definitely could use more holidays, that's for sure. But who's going to get them? Banks, government agencies, people got to go to school, people got to do this. Like, the people that have more holidays are the government workers. They would probably have the holiday. You can't shut down commerce and everything else because it's the Monday after Super Bowl. Better yet, make the Super Bowl on Saturday. How about that, right? Do that instead of making it on Sunday, or play it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon instead of 6:30 or whenever it actually kicks off this year too. So there's things you can do about it. They already moved it a week later because it used to be the last weekend in January. Now it's the first weekend in February. So it definitely makes sense, or I guess the second now. But ultimately, it's one of those things where you have to just enjoy it for what it is. I'm excited to see what goes down for the commercials. Every year, people are like, the commercials weren't that great, and the halftime show sucked. I don't know. It's been pretty good here or there too. Like Rihanna was pretty good a couple years ago, and Lady Gaga was pretty good a couple years ago, and some of the commercials were kind of funny. They always have the Doritos commercials and the Budweiser commercials and the different trailers. I'll be interested to see if we get an Avengers Doomsday trailer or a teaser for the trailer to come out tomorrow, because there are 30-second spots, I believe, that are around, I don't even know, like $10 million or something, I believe is the word. Imagine that. Imagine you have $10 million and you're like, I'm going to get 30 seconds of airtime for this. That's just crazy. And there's always like a or the avocados from Mexico commercial, and they always have like certain ones, and you're like, what was that? And some of the most memorable ones to me have been for like Doritos or the Tide Pen, or M&M's, or Budweiser, and I don't really buy alcohol anymore, and I don't think I've ever bought a Tide Pen. I used to buy Doritos, but I don't eat them anymore because there's stuff in them that doesn't agree with me and are pretty unhealthy. But I would buy that stuff whether the commercial was funny or not, So at the end of the day, I don't know if the ads are successful, but again, it's a day of entertainment, and to be honest with you, I'll be rooting for the Seahawks because anyone but the Patriots or the Eagles would be who I'm rooting for. Anybody else can win, if it was, especially if it was Cowboys, my team, but it's all right. Slizzle said, just saw the Rip, Stevie Young, pretty decent. Yeah, the Rip was okay. And that's one of those things where the Rip was a decent movie. It was entertaining. And Matt Damon was talking about, because I saw a bunch of interviews with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and they were talking about all these different things about the movie. And they were saying that Matt Damon, when they made the movie, Netflix told them that they have to reiterate the plot several times because people are on their phones. And so the streaming stuff at home, I mean, I've done this too, where I've checked my phone several times while watching a show or a movie or whatever. But I don't want them to really dumb it down too much. They're going to do whatever they do anyway, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's got to be entertaining. And I haven't seen the one movie with Jason Momoa and Batista on Amazon, but I'll eventually have to check that out on Amazon too, guys. But let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Who you're rooting for? Got a couple Seahawks, couple Pats, couple this on there too. So it's definitely something that I'm excited to see how the game goes down tonight. But I'll be back next Sunday to talk about the outcome and any other shows or movies that we saw. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below, guys. And remember, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Keep working hard at it. No matter what it is, you can do it. All right, guys. I'll see you next Sunday, and I'll see you guys. See ya.